Hey everybody, it's me Kenya and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I want to talk about what it is to be woke. I find that when I come across, people who are not black, they don't understand what is meant by the term being woke. Even when I talk to other black people who are not necessarily American, they're not from here, they don't understand what it is to be woke. And basically to be woke for me is just being aware of the things that are going around in my community, things that are going around in the US and all around the world, things that are happening to, black people, things that affect black people. I'm conscious of it, I'm aware. So when I do things with that in mind, that things are going on that are affecting black people. So that's what the term woke means to me. Now I'm on the Urban Dictionary website and it says being woke means being aware, knowing what's going on in the community relating to racism and social injustice. Also, woke. Getting woke is like being in the Matrix and taking the red pill. You get a sudden understanding of what's really going on and find out you were wrong about much of what you understood to be the truth. So that's when people become awake, like woke, they realize that all the things that they thought were, true and things that their parents have taught them, things that they learned in school, the whole Christopher Columbus, discovering America. Then you grow up and you realize, okay, he was just a pirate. Then you realize, okay, when you're a kid and you go to church, you're taught that, Jesus was stoned for his religion. And then you grow up and you're like, oh my gosh, that was police brutality. So that's what the term woke means in a sense. And the movie The Matrix was really like eye-opening in a way, and you'll hear like a lot of people who are woke say that we're living in the Matrix. So being woke, I don't think it's a trendy thing. I just think that because of so much social media and we have access to social media, that now we are able to see other people who are feeling the same ways that we feel. So growing up, I'm gonna just tell you right now, I've been woke all my life. I've never been unaware of anything that was going on around me. So to give you a little background history on myself, I basically grew up with my dad, and my dad is in the Nation of Islam. It's like growing up, I feel like I was taught a lot at home, even though my mom wasn't really physically there, she was in the streets. But when I did see my mom always had some type of wisdom or something of value to tell me. My mom was really smart, and then my father also would always share all his knowledge with me. I don't care, I was like, it doesn't matter how small I was, my father was always sharing some type of knowledge with me. And yeah, so my dad was in the Nation of Islam and growing up, and I remember riding in a car with my father as a child. He would always have, tapes of, Elijah Muhammad speaking, or Malcolm X, or Louis Farrakhan. And I feel like, my father was so pro-black that if he was born, like my father was born in the 60s, and that's when the civil rights movement was, taking place. But if my father had been an adult during the civil rights movement, my father probably would have been a Black Panther. This is just my perception on, growing up with my father and how my father was. And I remember being about 8 years old and my dad being like, oh, you're bored? He went to the store and picked up Uncle Tom's Cabin and was like, read it. And read it twice. So at 8 years old, I'm reading Uncle Tom's Cabin, not really understanding fully what I'm reading, but my father put that book into my hands, so that I can read it and sort of get an idea of, okay, what was going on during slavery. And I learned really early on what the term Uncle Tom meant. And I also had an aunt who was also well-traveled. My aunt would be going all over the world traveling. She went to Cairo, Egypt, and she brought me back like a pair of earrings that were like gold earrings that were like, they had ankhs on them. And then my aunt also went to Nairobi, Kenya, and she brought me back the same types of earrings. I think they were like a little bigger or smaller. And then she brought me a book, and on the book it said Jambo means hello. It was like a Swahili book, like a picture book with all the Swahili words in it. So till this day, the only Swahili word I know is Jambo, because she gave me that book when I was like 7, 8 years old. And my aunt, she would tutor me in Spanish when I was like 8, 9 years old. She spoke Arabic. So all around me, I was always surrounded with Black excellence. There were always Black people around me that were just very smart, very educated. And my aunt and uncle, my dad's brother, I remember going to their house when I was a kid, and they had a whole room that was dedicated to books. Like, they literally had a library in their house. And I used to have like 2 bookcases over here. You can't really see them in this frame, but now I only have 1, and I had all books. And my goal was to have a library, girl. Like, I remember my uncle and my aunt had when I was a kid. But due to my lack of space, I had to get rid of one of my bookcases. But trust me, when I move, your girl is going to have a library, because I feel like you can tell a lot about a person by what they read. So, you know, growing up and going to school, like, growing up for me and going to school, you know, I didn't really talk to kids in school about the things that I learned at home from my aunt or my father or from people in my family, because, you know, obviously my family were woke, and you can't really talk about certain things to other people who aren't on the same, I guess, you know, mental level that you're on, because they're not going to understand. You're going to sound crazy. And so I never really spoke about it. And as I got older, especially within the past like 10 years, you know, with all the police brutality that's been going on in the U.S., and my own son experienced some racism when he was 9, and he had no idea that it was racism. It's like, now, you know, you have your Jesse Williams and DeRay McKesson, or is that his name? You have so many social activists, and now it's like, oh my gosh, like, there are people that are like me. And growing up, there was really nobody around me that had the same mindset except for the people at home, you know, my family, or when I was younger and I would go to the mosque, downtown Newark. This when I was like really younger. I haven't been to the mosque in like freaking like 20 years, honestly. Almost 20 years. So I don't think being woke is trendy. I just think that now people who were, you know, aware of, you know, the social injustices going on around them, now that there is social media, now it's like, okay, there are so many other people around that are aware just like I am. And this is a shameless plug, but my next book, which is called The Fall, that I'm working on now, you're gonna see just how much of a socially aware that I am, because I write it into my storyline. And I wrote my book under the last name Noel. I'm just going to use that as my pen name, just because I just don't want people Googling me and getting the wrong idea about me before they get to know me. And that's just that. So yeah, so with that being said, I don't think that being woke is trendy, it's a new thing. I think that people have always been woke, but now that, you know, you have celebrities coming out and speaking on social issues, it's making more people aware of what's going on that necessarily probably didn't know before. And you always, you know how like you could have an aunt that's really smart, or an uncle or a grandfather, and if they're telling you something, a lot of the times you don't really want to listen to them, but when it seems like a celebrity says something, then people want to follow suit and listen. And just like with the 444 album, Jay-Z didn't say anything that we ain't already know. We already know that the Jews own 90% of the land, and that we should be investing in properties versus investing in stuff that doesn't matter. We already know that. But it's like when someone is telling you, your teacher, or, you know, something about being financially responsible, oh, we don't want to hear it. Oh, but when Jigga say it, then all of a sudden, yeah, we got to start investing in properties. It's like people have been saying this stuff all along, but it always take now, like I said, with social media and the celebrities that are coming out and talking about these issues, it's just like, now, okay, I think we might be getting somewhere now. I think now it's sort of pushing black people forward. We're getting there slowly, but we're definitely going forward. So I would like to see how things go in the next 20 years, if we get better, if we get worse, and all that jazz. So what do you guys think? Are you thinking that being woke is just a trend? Do you think being woke is just nonsense? You think that, what do you think? Leave your comments below. Make sure that they are respectful. I love to have open discussions, but I will also like, you know, you guys to remain respectful in the comment section. You know, I love everybody, but at the same time, we gotta keep it cute in the comments, okay? So that being said, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. What is your name?
Cordell.
How old are you, Cordell?
14.
Okay, what does the term being woke mean to you? When you hear somebody say, hey man, you're woke, or I'm woke, like what does that mean?
Like,
You don't have to try to sound extra smart. Just say what's on your brain.
Freedom or something like that.
What does it mean?
Freedom or something.
Freedom of what?
Like liberty or something like that.
But liberty from what?
Anything.
Anything like what?
Pressure.
Pressure. What else?
Happiness. Something.
Okay, so do you and your friends use the term woke at school?
Never.
You've never heard anybody talk about the term woke?
No.
What about being conscious?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about conscious?
My dad says be conscious of your surroundings.
So, have you ever heard of the Black conscious community?
No.
No? How is this? Are you my son?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that woke is a new term that the Black conscious community has adopted within the past, I guess, 5 to 7 years. So do you have any other closing thoughts or comments? Nothing? Okay.